Aloha, friends and neighbors. Welcome to Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. I'm your host, Raleigh Frost, sitting in Kona, trying to eke out a living here, like all of you. This is program 1111, 1111. We're going to cover the third week in March in the sky mirror, which I'm going to do first. And I got a lot of interesting things to share with you, so I want to get right along. One good note right away, hey, astrology works. It's not in favor right now, like Ben Franklin said, shame to the age we live in. But it works. And I've proved it for the last 20 years. And the fact that it works is good news for you. Yes, it means reality isn't quite what you think. And that you do have a fate, and Father in the sky did put you here for a certain reason, and reincarnation works, and a whole bunch of neat stuff. It's really good news that it works. Well, maybe to some people, if you try and tell them that, it's like, you get a hold of a redneck from Alabama and say, global warming is real, and the guy will laugh. What did Gandhi say? He said, first they laugh at you. No, he said, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. So they ignored global warming, then they laughed at it. Now they're fighting it, and now more on that later. Anyway, same thing for astrology. Same thing with astrology. Don't buy into sun sign crap. That ruined astrology in the USA. Doesn't work. Anyway, astrology works. The ancients lived on it. It's your basic science, and it's a very happy matter. It's the age of Aquarius, First thing in the sky is Mercury is stopping and going backwards Thursday, the 22nd, at 2:20 p.m. It stops at 17 Aries and squares Pluto, so it's going to be difficult. With transportation and communication, it's going to get stopped and blocked and censored and redacted. And anyway, you got about 3 weeks after this date while it's going. When it goes backwards, good time to go clean out your old stuff. But you don't want to send in your income tax, because half of the Mercury things, communications and transportations, you'll have to do again. I try to foxhole Mercury. And if I want to call somebody on the phone, I'll call them and let it ring once and hang up quick. Punch redial, it rings again. That way I've called them twice. If I'm going out to the store, I may walk out onto the front porch, come back in, go shishi, go back out again. I've left twice. Because Mercury has to do a lot of this stuff again, because he's going backwards. Anyway, watch your keys. Famous thing, Mercury's like a little kid, 7 or 8 years old, and he'll take your keys or the remote control. Anyway, Thursday, you'll notice it. Well, I've got some good news, but, there may be something here. Here's your chart. This is the generic chart for everybody. I just put Aries on the rising sign here. And some interesting things that are happening. That new moon at 27 degrees of Pisces that happened. Actually, it's happening for you right now. If you're on the Friday night show, well, Thursday night, it's tomorrow night. You got a new moon late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And this new moon is interesting because at 26 Pisces, it trines Jupiter. A lot of truth and wisdom comes out for the next month. And it sextiles Pluto, discovery. It's kind of neat. It does make a 30-degree angle to Uranus. So we're giving up science, independence, freedom, common sense. I don't know if that's enough trade-off for some discovery. And people won't like science. They won't like the internet and the utility companies and let's sync spectrum. Anyway, not too good for astrology either for the month. And then there'll be another new moon, and that one will be on the planet Uranus, a month from where you're at. And that'll change the vibes totally again. But for now, be a lot of laughing. Good for people to be optimistic and discover new things. Let's look at it day by day. We're just going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern and see what's coming up. Here you see Mercury. I draw him big because he's stopping on Thursday at 17 Aries, squaring Pluto. People are going to say S-H-I-T a lot. You watch, your language is going to get, pretty raw around Thursday when Mercury stops. You'll be cursing. Everybody will be cursing a lot for some reason. It's just kind of natural when Mercury squares Pluto that your communication goes to extremes. You'll either say nothing at all or you'll shout loud curses. Anyway, if you're on a Thursday night show, you're back here. And Moon's in Pisces. It's coming up to Neptune Friday morning. Before breakfast, the moon goes by Neptune here. And it feels kind of sensitive and artistic and kind of nice. That's Neptune. Colors, art, music. There's a time to go to church. Time to work on your enlightenment. So Neptune stuff, not bad. Water, liquids. Friday morning. Friday afternoon, here's the sextile to Pluto and the trine to Jupiter, and you're in this discovery zone here. So it starts with discovery, just before dinner, after lunch. Sextile, moon sextiles Pluto. New things. And then it trines Jupiter later that night, about 9 o'clock. Aha, now I see it clear. The Hawaiian crow's not a crow at all. He's a raven. My raven show is playing all over the Big Island. More on that later. Saturday, moon's still in Pisces to get through breakfast. But just about after breakfast, here the moon squares Mars. People are irritated, angry. You got a new moon, huh? And usually new moons, even if it's a good new moon like this, there's a high accident rate and people get a little hoo-hoo Friday night, Saturday morning. So it feels pretty good Friday. But on Saturday, around breakfast, look out. Hots and sharps and problems with aggression. But you're in a new mood zone, so concentrate on optimism with the trine to Jupiter. And Saturday, maybe you'll ask yourself what you're protecting Saturday. Once you find out what you're protecting, you'll go do the physical work. You won't be impatient and angry with the bad Mars, the god of war. You got to hold him down a little bit. Too much war going on in the world. Ben Franklin said there never was a good war or a bad peace. Goes through Saturday as you go, and the moon's in Aries when you start getting angry. Whew, the hot one, the cardinal fire sign. And you kind of get a little depressed as you go through late Saturday night. Early Sunday morning, this is like to about 4 o'clock in the morning, the moon squares Saturn, and we're kind of stuck in it. We don't have enough money, time, depression, rules and regulations. It's hard to drive on the road anymore. There's so many lines and signs and rules and regulations. It's the way the country has gone. But Sunday could be better because here's Venus, and this is after lunch. The moon has a nice conjunction to Venus. And of course Mercury's here in the morning. So the moon's going to go by Mercury, and we're going to talk and say it twice. Or not talk at all. And here's trouble with kids and your language. Whoosh! Sunday morning, don't go to church because you may say things you'll be sorry for later. But after you get through the cursing stage, Sunday after the middle of the day and after lunch, there is a conjunction to Venus. And there's a little love and sexiness, and it settles down. And look, there's those flowers over there, at least for a few hours. Because late Sunday night, after midnight, the moon squares Pluto, and there's a little panickiness now again. It's getting to be a habit, huh? This is not a drill. Lay it on the floor flat. A nuke will hit in 10 minutes. Eek, a bug. That's Pluto stuff, my friends. We're kind of in the zone. I got more on that later. So once you get through Sunday, Monday's better, because here's Uranus, brotherhood, comes out. A higher intellect. I am another you, in la catch. Yes, that's the truth, the metaphysics, the common sense. Reincarnation is real. There's a lot of stuff that's real that you haven't been told about. So Monday there's a breakthrough feeling of new consciousness. And you need to take advantage. In the middle of Monday, in the afternoon, here's a trine to Mars. You can get out and do some physical things and be the hero. So you got brotherhood and heroics on Monday as the moon shifts into Taurus in the afternoon. Feels a lot better, more grounded, huh? And on Tuesday, in the morning, here's a trine to Saturn. We're all getting organized. That feels pretty good, too. Tuesday afternoon, here's a sextile to Neptune. Inspiration. Play some church music. Read Jesus with common sense. When it says heavens in the King James, read sky. That's the original word. That'll change your mind a little bit. Anyway, a lot of compassion here in Beauty Tuesday afternoon. And on Wednesday, we got to trine to Pluto. There's discovery. And you'd like to say, aha, but everybody's going, aha. And there's too much laughing, and there's too much joking. And remember my song about Stealers Wheel, the jokers on one side and the clowns on the other? That's the way you're going to feel Wednesday morning, March 21st. But you had some wonderful discovery if you got up early Wednesday morning. Yes. And you got a lot of stuff done. Here's a nice sextile to the sun Wednesday night after dinner. So your plans worked and you're kind of proud of yourself. Thursday, the moon's in Gemini. Changes vibes again. Thursday night, here's the square to Neptune starting. And there's some confusion and delusion. And here's Mercury. You might have a sextile to Mercury, but he's stationary. He's stopping on this day on the 22nd. So, if you're going to do any last-minute stuff, you got to do it before 2:20 p.m., before Mercury goes backwards. Otherwise, you may do it twice. Sometimes it's good to go do it twice. I had a salesman tell, I love Mercury retrograde. He said, I go make a sales call on Mercury retrograde, there's a good chance I'll have to go back again. And that's good when you're a salesman. Friday morning, the morning of Venus, Vandradi, Frey. Friday comes from Freya in the Norse for Friday. And gee, this is early. This is 2, 4, this is 6, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. Here's a nice sextile to Venus. So stay in bed with somebody you love Friday morning. Yeah? You deserve a little reward, some sweets in your life. And Friday night, here's the sextile to Uranus, in la catch. Yes, we are the same spirit. What's inside you is the same spirit when you were 5 years old, exactly the same person as there is now. That's the spirit. It's unchanging. It proves that there is a spirit in people that doesn't change and doesn't die. It's different from your body and your named identity and your personality. But it's easy to identify once you do it. I think Raj Nis taught me that. When I went and looked, sure enough, I'm the same guy at 5 as I was at 50. Exactly the same. Unchanging spirit. Saturday morning, the moon squares the sun. Spirit's not going so hot. Our ambitions got thwarted. It's hard to do things Saturday morning. The moon's in Cancer. Yeah, not so hot. And when you get to, oops, I didn't finish this, huh? Hee hee. There, that's better. So Saturday starts with a lack of ambition, with the moon squaring the sun. Then you get bogged down after lunch when the moon opposes Saturn. Things are locked up and limited, and there's too many laws. And some inspiration hits about 1 a.m. in the morning, Sunday morning, with a nice trine to Neptune. But look at Sunday, my goodness. Now you know that Mercury just stopped a few days before the 25th, and it stopped in square to Pluto, and so people are saying SHIT a lot. There's also coughing, lung irritation, and Pluto is Vogue, amongst other things. I got something to teach you about that, right? Soon. So here's curse words, loud sounds, difficulties getting around, a lot of coughing, sneezing. People are going to blame Vogue for their stuff. No, it's pollen showers. Comes down the mountain. Exotic pollens in Hawaii at night. It gives people lung problems, not Vogue. Vogue could actually help your lungs, believe it or not. Well, anyway, there's your Pluto stuff, and it's in the morning, Sunday morning. Let's see, Pluto peaks out at 20. There it is. And Mercury at 17. So it's all going to catch you in the morning of Sunday, the 25th of March. And then in the evening, here we've got at dinner time, square to Venus, too much sweets, giving up, feeling tearful. And here's the square to Uranus, which happens late Sunday night. There's a lack of brotherhood and idealism, and common sense has flown out the window. Pretty lousy Sunday if you get to it. That's just the way the planets are lined up.